morning, and welcome to another episode of Full Brew. It's episode number 8. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's episode 8, Mike. I'm Patrick Fulcher.
And I am Mike Brewer.
And we are so glad that you are here with us today, and we have an exciting episode, Mike. We have, again, one of our favorite things to do on the program is that we have special guests, and we have several of those as part of the program today. And guys, don't forget to stick around till the end of the program, because Mike, people think this is just kind of looks perfect when we do this, but what they don't realize is there's a lot of mistakes that happen behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So stay tuned to the very end of the program today, and you're going to get to see some of those funny moments that don't always make it into the actual program.
Yes,
so,
they are hilarious.
Hilarious. So lots of fun stuff. We better get going, Mike, because we've got a lot to cover.
We do. So one of the first things we want to talk about is some recent awards and accolades that were bestowed upon Norman Radow, the owner and founder of Radco Companies. And the Atlanta Business Chronicle did an interview with Norman. And so, Patrick, I was interested. I'm assuming you read the article?
Yes.
And were there some things that stuck out in the article?
Yeah, and I just want to say again, congratulations to Norman, awarded the most admired CEO in Atlanta, and that is such a great thing, and we're super proud of Norman.
Yeah, incredible honor.
We are also going to be having Norman as a guest on our next episode. So this is episode 8, episode number 9. We're going to be having Norman as a guest on the program, and you're going to be interviewing him, and that's going to be really exciting.
Correct. I can't wait.
So one of the things that I picked up on that jumped out at me, Mike, from the article from the Atlanta Business Chronicle was they asked Norman about building trust in an organization and how does a CEO do that? And Norman's answer, and I thought this was just absolutely lines up perfectly with everything that he stands for, is to be caring.
Yeah.
And to be real, and that people realize when you're being fake. And so I think Norman embodies that everywhere that he goes. He's the most real person I know, and he's the most caring person, and just models that wherever he happens to be.
Yeah, it's so very true, and I think it was at least pronounced to me in the way that he spoke about his father being his hero and his mentor, and he used the word love in how his father did business. He was such a loving individual, and I think the L word is a word that we don't use enough in a corporate setting.
We're a little scared to talk about that in a business environment, right? But it's true.
Yeah, and I think it really, in Norman's case, it informs that caring value for him and the way that he sort of edifies people under that premise of caring. So the way that he talks about his father gives me
it really does.
Goosebumps.
And how so many of the things that we do in our company today are a result of Norman's dad.
Yeah.
And how he pays for 100% of the team members' medical insurance and dental insurance. We have a industry-leading 401k match. We have Radco Cares. And that all links back to the way Norman learned to treat people from his dad.
That's right.
And that's really impactful.
You just don't see that out in
you
the
really
marketplace.
don't, because it's usually, Mike, it's all about the almighty dollar.
That's right.
It's about how can we cut back on things, how can we do less, and Norman says we're going to do more.
That's right. That's
and
exactly
right. I am so proud to be part of a company that where the CEO says that.
Yeah, it calls to mind another thing that he said in here, and being using his words, mixing my words, but being a good steward of our responsibilities and how that extends beyond the sort of the boundary lines of our communities, meaning our apartment communities. It goes out into the community and being a good steward of what we have there and what we offer for people. So it's just amazing to
really
work for a guy who has that kind of vision.
It really is. So Norman, congratulations to you. We're so looking forward to it. You haven't been on the program before.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to have Norman make his first appearance on Full Brew next month. So exciting, looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So very cool.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, one of the things, and this kind of lines up with what we just talked about the great company that we work for, is Radco has decided to become a nominee in the best places to work in multifamily.
Yeah.
And this is a program, Mike, that we're going to submit a lot of information to the Best Places to Work group.
That's right.
And one of the things that is super important, because it's really how the winner is determined, is that the Great Places to Work Institute is going to send a survey to 350 of our Radco team members that they need to fill out and
That's right.
send back to the Great Places to Work group. Now, I do want to say that we recently completed
very important point.
Yes, the Radco Voice. I want to make a distinction here so nobody gets confused. The Radco Voice is our Radco team member survey that we do internally. And we look at the results of that. We just completed that. Actually, Janet and Travis are going to be talking about the results of that survey in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But this survey is specifically for our nomination in the Great Places to Work and Multifamily contest.
That's right.
And so I will tell you, Mike, that the way we're going to win that honor is if our Radco team members tell that story.
That's right.
And so we encourage you, it is an optional survey, you don't have to fill it out, but we encourage you to do so because what a great honor that would be, Mike, to be crowned
That's right.
as one of the great places to work in the multifamily industry.
I think this is one of those fantastic ways. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we've been together for like 2 years, 2.5
Pretty
years,
much,
right?
pretty much.
We're in the infancy of creating a property management company as a whole, right?
Right.
And our story is not really out there in the mass, right? It's
Right.
just here local in Atlanta, maybe a little bit in those out markets that we serve, but this is our first, in my mind, first real chance to go national with
Absolutely.
the Radco story.
So people really know what Radco is all about. And so if you guys will be on the lookout, and we're going to send out more information to let you know exactly where the email is going to be coming from, where you're going to be getting the email so that you can respond back in a timely manner. And I know, Mike, in my heart of hearts, I already work for the greatest company on the planet.
Absolutely.
And I just want to let everybody else know about that. So how we're going to do that is to have our Radco team members actually tell that story in their own voice.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love
So speaking of email, Mike, and we just talked about that all of our team members are going to be receiving a survey link via email. One of the projects that we just got completed, and Mike, I have to tell you, this was a result of some feedback that we got in our last Radco Voice survey.
That's right. The 2017 version.
2017 survey of things that we were working on. And one of the things that our team members clearly communicated to us was that they felt like they were missing certain pieces of information
That's
that
right.
were going out to the field. And so what we have decided to do is going forward for every new Radco team member, and all of our existing team members are going to get issued an actual Radco Living email address.
That's awesome.
So it'll be their first name dot last name at radcoliving.com. And so there'll be more information coming out in the next week on that, Mike, how to access that. Our IT department has spent a lot of hours. That's a lot of email addresses.
I didn't realize how hard that was.
It's a lot.
It's
and
a lot of work.
It affects a lot of different systems and things, so we're still working through some of that stuff. But I think it's going to be just fantastic, Mike, that people can actually get that email right into their own personal Radco Living email box.
That's right.
And get the information that they need. So that is a direct response to something that we heard from our team members that said, hey guys, this is something we can fix.
Yeah, exactly right. And I do want to give a special shout out to Kevin because he is the one that did all the heavy lifting to get that thing put in place.
Kevin, thank you. I know this has been a labor of love and a lot of hard work, and we didn't know how it was going to affect certain things within the system and the network, and he was able to do that, bring it over the finish line, and we're going to see the results of that very soon. So everybody will have their own email address. That's fantastic.
It's really exciting, definitely exciting. So switching gears a little bit, I wanted to talk about a recent closing that we had down in Texas, City Trails, and really, clap it up, yeah.
And thanks to all the team that worked so hard.
Yeah, that's, the closing is great and it was wonderful for Radco, but the big message here is thank you thank you to Talia, to LaWanda, to Norman, and every other person. I know Carl Melby spent some time down there, Josh spent some time down there, but it was a tremendous team effort,
It really
coming
was.
together as a team to get that thing across the finish line. So kudos to everyone that was involved with that. It was a big deal. So
Big deal.
on the other side of that equation, some acquisitions that are coming up. We are closing Charleston now officially on August the 2nd. So we'll have 2 new properties coming into the portfolio, which is very exciting.
Yes,
Did you say absolutely
I did again.
I love it.
Mike, I'm trying not to say it, but I keep saying it, and it's so funny. In the last episode, they did a whole little montage, and I think I said it 23 times.
You did, and that's awesome.
So I've already said it about 3 times
Yeah,
in this episode.
I'm going to keep mental note along.
Absolutely. You call me out when I say that.
I love it.
And I just said it again.
All right, so shifting gears, we're rolling.
We are.
So Grand Tour, we wanted to. I wanted to. Last time we talked about the Grand Tour, we talked about some potential areas of opportunity that we saw out in the marketplace. This time around, we've started the second round of Grand Tours, and it started right here in Atlanta, up in Kennesaw. And I have to say to all the teams in Kennesaw, what a wonderful job you did in preparation for this Grand Tour. It was off the charts amazing. The properties looked absolutely, to use your word,
Absolutely.
amazing. Curb appeal right on through to the dialogue that we had around the financial statement at the property and the ongoing operations of the property, the team members at the property. It was just an all-around fantastic experience. So I definitely want to say thank you for that.
There you go.
It was amazing.
That's fantastic. See, I did not say absolutely.
I love it. All right, so want to segue into an interview. So we're going to talk, give way a little bit to what we are calling crosstalk, right? So Janet and Travis sat down and talked a little bit about some of the programs that we've initiated as of late. And so let's take a look at that.
Hi, my name is Travis Osteen, and I'm the HR Director for Radco Residential.
And I'm Janet Bailden. I'm the HR Director for the Radco companies. And we're so excited to be here today to talk a little bit about the Radco Voice, some of the great results that we received back from all of our team members, and also talk about some of the fun initiatives that we have going on in 2018 and soon to be 2019.
So the Radco Voice, it's our team member engagement survey. We've made a commitment to take this survey twice a year and really gather and analyze the results. I want to talk a little bit about why we do the survey and the purpose behind it. The Radco Voice to me is so important because it gives our team members their voice and the ability to provide anonymous feedback that helps our overall organization. Last year, one of our lower scoring questions was about our orientation experience. And I'm excited to say that this year we've launched Entry Gate, piloted here in Atlanta, which is our world-class onboarding and orientation program. And again, I'm excited to share that we'll be launching this portfolio-wide coming soon in the next couple of weeks. So that's just one of the takeaways from last year's survey to 2018. So from this survey, we've actually had over 30 of our questions have received a higher rating from our last survey.
Oh, that's great.
And one of the highest scoring questions was that I'm proud to work for Radco Residential.
I love that.
So the next steps for Radco Voice is that we look at the areas that we're doing exceptionally well at, but we also look at the areas that need some improvement and really build a solid strategic plan to heighten those areas of opportunity.
This actually reminds me, earlier this year, we sent out a wellness survey, and with those results is where we truly created Thrive. We were really surprised when we talked about what are some of the key areas that the team members are wanting to hear more about and they're more interested in. Everyone was really interested in financial wellness. So it was with that survey that we came up with Confidence by Thrive. Confidence by Thrive is a great financial tool, online financial program that we just launched this year. And it's free. Radco's paying for it for all team members. And even though it's going to be available to all team members for all of 2018 and even through to 2019, if our team members complete the program by September 5th, they get a $100 incentive. When you go into the program, you can set in there your biggest values, what you value most in your life, and then you build your financial program around those values so that it really is tailored to you as an individual. So in addition to Thrive, one of the other initiatives that we've really been hearing more about this year is Caring in Action.
Definitely. And Caring Action, this isn't anything new. It's really always a part of who we are. It's caring, it's our core values, it's the DNA of who we are. Across our portfolio, our team members have been participating in charitable organizations, food banks, and also really helping each other out.
Radco has always been involved in its communities, but we really wanted to formalize it a little bit more and get more involved in volunteer work. So what we're doing this year, we're actually going to pilot a VTO day, which will actually be a volunteer time off, where we'll have a few different volunteer initiatives and options for our team members to choose from, and they can get together and take the day off to be involved in their communities and to give back. One of our key goals for 2019 is to put together a committee to get some advocates in some of our other markets to understand a little bit more about how Radco wants to give back in those communities. So there's a lot of logistics with volunteer work, so we really want to get those advocates involved in the different markets to let us know a little bit about, hey, what do those team members want to do? How do they want to get involved in their communities and put that in action? So Carry in Action is really about doing what we've already been doing, but formalizing it a little bit more. The VTO day, that we're going to be launching this year is going to be available to all of our Georgia and Greater Atlanta team members. But our ultimate goal is to really, extend this across all of our markets and get everybody at Radco involved in volunteer work and giving back to their communities.
Definitely. And the need for these programs is, again, across all of our portfolio and all of our divisions, because every team member matters, their opinions, their voices, and we'd love to make these programs available to everyone.
So the last thing I'd like to mention is that we send out these surveys twice a year. Is that correct?
Yes.
But we want to encourage our team members to feel like they can give their feedback and let us know how they're feeling or their opinions anytime throughout the year. We encourage you to have a voice and to let us know about your overall experience at Radco at any time.
You're our biggest client, our number one client, and we want to absolutely provide the best service to you. So please feel free to give us your feedback, candid at any time. Thanks for joining us today.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
So thank you, Janet and Travis, for taking the time to highlight a lot of the things, Mike, that are happening related to wellness and Radco Carrying in Action. That was exciting to hear from our two HR directors.
Yes, thank you very much.
And so, Mike, one of the things that happened just recently was we hosted, as part of our kickoff of the wellness initiatives, is we hosted a field day.
Oh, I remember it
here.
well.
Yes, you were in the dunk tank, I
was in
believe,
the
right? I hope we have that in this clip that's coming
I hope
up.
not.
I hope we do. But one of the things that we did, Mike, was host this field day where we brought in all the Atlanta team members to really give this huge push toward wellness. And so we have a highlights reel that we're going to be able to share with everybody of some of the fun stuff that happened that day. So let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Travis Osteen, the HR Director for Radco Residential. We are here today on our field day celebrating Radco's new initiative, Thrive. So this is our first wellness initiative, Thrive, and for me, I care so much about it because it's all about giving back to our employees and creating great experiences. It's not just about the physical wellness, but it's about the emotional wellness and also your financial wellness, which is equally as important. So this really kicks it off in a really fun and authentic way.
It's nice that we take our team members and take them out of the office and really just show them that we care and really reinvest in them. That's something most companies don't do, and I'm proud to work for Radco.
Today has really displayed the true meaning of family, and Radco has really shown that we care about our employees, we care about our Radco family.
Wow, Mike, that looked like a fun day, and you did make it into the highlights
did,
reel.
yep.
You were up on top of that dunk tank. How was that experience?
You know, it was, because it was so hot outside when I
Yeah.
fell into the water, it was actually refreshing. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be
It
freezing
was-
cold, but
it was so hot that day, and I was basically running the dunk tank.
You were.
I think I lost 12 pounds just running back and forth between gathering up the balls, making sure everybody was in line. And
I got to tell you, it was really fun in the sense it sort of took me back to a youthful state of mind, right?
Yeah.
And just all the fun that was going on in and around the dunk tank, and the dunk tank itself is actually very fun. if I'm
lots
being
of fun
honest.
stuff. And Mike, I don't want to let this pass without mentioning that all the money, the people actually pay money to throw the balls.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so that money went to Radco Cares.
And
And I believe we raised just shy of $3,000 on that day, and that's incredible.
Awesome.
So people really wanted to dunk you.
That's right. I think they really wanted to dunk Norman. And,
Yeah,
and,
and thank you,
Alan.
Norman, everybody that participated. That was a fantastic day, and we really want to make sure that going forward, we bring those same type of events
Yeah.
to all of our markets, like Florida and the Carolinas and Oklahoma, so you can have those same experiences as well.
Definitely. Yeah, to include the dunk tank.
To include the dunk tank, with you traveling there to sit in. Right?
Maybe not.
So, Mike, as part of the conversation that Janet and Travis had earlier, one of the things that they talked about was the Radco Caring in Action program. And that relates back to what you talked about a little earlier about how our caring extends beyond the boundaries
Yeah.
of our properties.
True, Stephen. Yeah.
And so one of the things that we have coming up, and this is a big Atlanta tradition, is the Atlanta Community Food Bank Food Drive that is sponsored by the Atlanta Apartment Association. It's actually called the Foodathon. And so that's going to be coming up in the fall. And Radco is going to be a fierce competitor
I like
in
that.
this competition.
Fierce.
Yes.
Absolutely
A
fierce.
fierce competitor in this competition. This food drive, Mike, just a couple of quick facts about this food drive. The Atlanta Community Food Bank and this food drive is the world's largest, should be in the Guinness Book of World Records,
Let's make that happen.
the largest food drive in the world.
That is amazing.
It touches not only the greater Atlanta area, but it also touches areas outside of Atlanta.
I was really surprised to learn that.
Yeah.
There's such a surplus as a result of this that they
Absolutely.
can farm out to other states, as I understand.
So this completely aligns with our Radco Carried in Action vision.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, our Atlanta properties are going to be participating in that food drive. So more information to come on that. The food drive, I believe, actually happens in November. So we'll be gearing up for that probably starting very, very soon. And it's a great way, Mike, we could get our residents involved
yeah.
and
Yeah.
not just our team members, but our residents, and really drive home that Radco cares about our community.
That's right. And my mind immediately goes to competition, right? Friendly
Absolutely.
competition. I can just see like regionals pitted against each other, properties pitted against each other. And so it's a fun venue for competition. So
Competition is a good thing, especially when it comes to taking care of others.
that is exactly right. So speaking of taking care of others and sort of transitioning to our next segment here, talent news, I feel really privileged to announce that Regina has just been promoted
Absolutely.
after having spent just
Regina Denson.
roughly a year. She's been here roughly a year. I gotta tell you, when she came to Radco, the story I remember most is that we sort of didn't really have a really super tight handle on
No.
our financial statement
Not at all.
on the residential side. I gotta tell you, within 60 days,
At least, if not
Regina.
sooner. If not sooner.
that's right. She got us in line. She put the right practices in
Yeah.
place. She helped us to put the fiscal spending constraints in place. And the result of that is that I think our operation is well into the black, and it's really as a result of all the efforts that she's put forth. So well deserved.
We are a better organization because of Regina's efforts today and
No
her
doubt.
discipline around accounting practices.
That's right. So her new official title is Vice President of Accounting, Corporate and Treasury. I had to read that because that is a
That
long
is a
title.
long title.
Yep. but well-deserved, and congratulations to you.
Congratulations, Regina.
So we love videos today. You did say we were going to do a lot of videos
I told
today.
you, but I really think that's what people, the feedback that we get about the show, Mike, they just don't want to hear you and I up here talking.
Yeah, that's right. As fun
you
as
and I
we are.
both love to talk,
Yes.
but they don't want to hear us talking all the time. So
You're-
we like to highlight other people and bring in different voices on the program.
Exactly right. So this next video, we are going to see Chanel Dobson and Adam Finley from Radius Cheshire Bridge. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Radius Cheshire Bridge. My name is Chanel, and I'm here with...
I'm Adam Finley. I'm the assistant manager here, and we're excited to have Full Brew here with us.
I think you're fearless. I mean, seriously, going through a transition from Bell to Radco taking over, and then turning around, going through all of that transition, learning the Radco way, doing the renovations, and then managers, and that's a lot to take on.
There are multiple tasks that I do daily that require me to get over a sense of fear. Just dealing with money in general, especially if it's not my money, I have the responsibility of dealing with the money that is collected here on property. And then I also have to speak with our residents about their personal finances, which can be difficult. A lot of people keep that information close to their chest, where even their closest friends or family members may not know where they are sitting financially. So just doing that daily helps me overcome that fear of speaking with those residents about those issues that they may be dealing with. Another way I look at the core value of fearless is just dealing with confrontation. You're dealing with a lot of residents. We've got 318 apartments here. So we've got many different people. We've got a very diverse population, and you never know what may happen to one person. If they're not having a good day, they're going to come in and express that to you. The confrontation that may come along with that is scary.
So during that transition, it showed really how flexible you are, being able to multitask and step up in those areas. Tell us about how that worked.
Well, you're right. We did have to be very flexible on the day-to-day. You really did not know what the next day could bring, being that we're working on major projects here and still dealing with the typical property management responsibilities. We did have to be flexible in letting the residents know what to expect. I really take flexibility into my daily job every day. One of the things I love about property management is you really never know what is going to come up, what's going to be presented to you. So you really do have to be flexible with every opportunity that comes your way.
And you are. I think on a day-to-day, we just kind of start off on certain things and then we end up where we end up. I think one way we express caring here at the property is our little food truck event that we do every month.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love our food truck events. Like Chanel said, we do it monthly. And we love for all of our residents to get involved with that. But we also reach out to the retirement community next door just to have them come over, get some good food, and feel like part of the community. That's important to us. And as we were discussing, I feel like that shows how much we do care about not only our residents, but the community around us.
One of the things I'd really like everybody to know about Adam is he's very diligent, very resourceful. Attention to details are everything with him. And the one thing that I really like is that you always take the time to really dig in, to understand the details, to document the details, but to really get the full picture before assuming anything. I really think that's great because, in documenting and having to actually resolve that resident issue or resolve that financial issue, we're able to give them accurate information and not just kind of take a shot in the dark. So I think that's very important because that interaction when you have with the resident, it could go either way, and with all your resourcefulness and ability to do that, it makes the experience so much better.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's really just something that I value myself, is that if someone is having an issue, that I get them the right information. Because nothing's worse than someone being frustrated coming in the door, telling them the wrong information, and then having them come back even more frustrated. So it is very important for me to just make sure I get all of the information straight, try to figure out the situation as much as possible, and if I do need to talk to that resident about what they've been going through, just having them walk through it, express their frustration from their side so that I can get a full picture before I fill them in on what we need to do going forward.
All right, so Adam, thank you for being fearless with me today and all the outtakes and the redos. So thank you so much. I think everybody's really learned a lot from you, and I'm really excited to see you showcased on the Full Brew.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always fun sitting down with Chanel and chatting with her every day. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me as well.
Of course, teamwork.
Thank you, Chanel and Adam, for bringing to life the core values that are the foundation of Radco to life every day in your jobs at Radius Cheshire Bridge. And I have to say, on a personal note, Mike, when I first moved back from Florida, I actually lived at Radius Cheshire Bridge for almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
And and I can tell you from having been a resident and from a personal experience that both of those individuals, Chanel and Adam, both live those values every day. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate, I'm sure, all the other 300 plus apartment dwellers at Radius Cheshire Bridge also appreciate their commitment to our core values every day.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for that.
And Mike, one of the things that, and I can never let a show pass where we don't talk about our Amplify Ambassador program and our Safety Ambassador program. This is one of the most unique programs that I've ever seen.
Yes.
And the way that we distribute and transfer information to people through peers.
That's right.
These are people that have stepped up and said, hey, I want to do this in addition to my regular work duties.
That's right.
I want to be able to help train people and help people grow and learn. And so each quarter we focus on a particular core value. Mm-hmm. So Q2, the core value was flexible. And so we taught, all of our content talked about something related to being flexible. Time management, as we know, working in a very busy leasing office, time management is critical. You've been there, Mike, and you know what it's like to be in a very busy office.
Absolutely.
And so, and even our, not just in the office, but our maintenance team members as well.
Yeah.
They have to plan their days, and the unexpected happens. It happens every single day, and we have to deal with the unexpected, but we also have to continue to deal with all the other issues that we're dealing with. So the value of flexibility and being flexible was the focus. And so the core value for Q3 is caring. And so some of the topics that we're going to be talking about are identifying residents' needs and providing solution and managing heat stress.
Oh, yes, this is the time of year for that.
Can I reach out to our team members that are watching, specifically Mike, in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Which I believe, if we were on the heat scale, Texas and Houston and San Antonio right now is very hot.
Oh, very hot. Definitely.
And so the content that we're going to be delivering is around how to manage heat stress. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's and important. It really stresses the idea that we need to stay hydrated, abundantly hydrated.
Yes.
If you think you're hydrated enough, drink another bottle of water because it's
correct.
It can sneak up on you in a heartbeat. So.
Absolutely. So I just want to say again, number one, thank you to all of our Amplify ambassadors and our safety ambassadors who take the time every month out of their normal workflow to spend time. And I love these pictures. We have these pictures pop up on Yammer and LinkedIn and of those classes happening, and it's just so exciting to see that.
And the thing I love most about that program is you spoke to the idea of people stepping up, right? And part of our work here is to build future leaders, right?
Yes.
And these people who step up and actually do presentations in front of their peer group, I know I've said this several times over on this show, it's stressful.
It is.
It's public speaking sometimes
It
is
is-
like dying 1,000 deaths,
It
right?
is not easy at all.
Not
It is
easy.
not easy.
Yeah, but it's part of building yourself up to be a future leader in this organization. So on that level, I applaud those of you who have volunteered to do it. So thank you.
Thank you. And Mike, you're going to tell us about a little
Yeah.
surprise we had this week.
So Sharon, who is full of surprises,
She
we love
really
her for
is.
her surprises.
Yes.
Yes. So she walked around the office with her handy dandy iPhone camera, right? And asked people to recite the core values. And so we're going to look at a few of those now.
Schwen, what are the 4 core values of the company?
Caring, flexible, fearless, and successful.
Well done. Good job. Hey, Daphne,
Hey,
do you know Radco's 4 core values?
I do.
What are they?
Fearless, flexible, caring, and successful.
Good job.
Thanks.
Radco is caring,
Flexible, fearless.
successful.
Awesome.
First and foremost, I want to thank Sharon for actually having the courage really to walk around and in the moment ask people what the core values were. I think we have made a commitment at this level to really imbue those core values and our purpose on people's minds. And I think to the extent that we can create these emotionally loaded situations and you can recite the values in that emotional state, it further imbues that in your mind. And so I think, and one of the things I know Brian did it at the last, I think it was when we introduced Thrive. He
Yes.
gave away crispy $100 bills to people who could recite the purpose. And my imagination tells me, I'm going to go out on a limb here, we might have some monetary things or some awards attached to these core values and the purpose to get those things imbued.
I think
because-
so. I think we'll make that happen.
Yeah, it's a really fun way to get those things. But it's important because it really is that sort of thread that stitches together the
It's the
fabric of our culture.
foundation. To me, it's the foundation and the decision, the filter
That's right.
by which we make decisions every day. I
That's
always
right.
say, if in question, consult the values.
That's right. It's the customer's voice in the room when we're making decisions, right? Yep. Consult
Absolutely.
the values when you're making those decisions. So, yep, very good. So Patrick, we've been talking about how hot it is, and I know you just came back from Dallas.
I did. I was just in Dallas. It was 109.
109
In the
degrees
shade.
outside. In the shade. I like how you put that. So, yeah, it is definitely hot outside, and I think it's important that we give shout outs right now to our team members. I mean, getting service requests done in a not hot part of the year is one thing, but to get service requests done when ACs are coming in left and right in the middle of the summer is quite another thing. And so this month we had a set of properties that actually had, well, not this month, but this past Monday, I think it was, 13 properties that actually had 10 or less open service requests. And we even had one property, Ashford Gardens, that had 0 this past Monday. 0 open
Go
service
Ashford
requests.
Gardens.
That's amazing. But I want to call out some other ones that had less than 10 or less open service requests this past
All
Monday.
right.
So Willows at North End in South Carolina, Ashford Walnut Creek in Oklahoma, Parkside at Laurel West in South Carolina, the Landing at Ackworth in Atlanta, City Park Clearwater in Florida, Ashford Feather Sound in Florida, Greenwood at Ashley River in South Carolina, Radius Chester Bridge in Atlanta, City Crest in Texas, Radius Winter Park in Florida, Ashford Ridenhour here in Atlanta, and Radius at West Ashley in South Carolina. Applaud you all.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
And one theme that I saw running through that list of properties, Mike, was South Carolina.
Yeah, what are they drinking down there?
What
It's
are they-
fantastic.
What is in the water?
Bottle
in
that
South-
up and ship it
Absolutely.
out.
Congratulations to everybody
Yes.
that was on that list. Mike, this is the type of thing with having less than 10 open work orders that is going to move our Kingsley score.
That's right.
Ultimately.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Those type of things. We appreciate everyone's focus and commitment to keeping those work orders down. And Mike, it has become kind of a cool thing now,
Yes, it has.
a pride point to take a picture of your Yardi screen that shows 0 open work orders
That's
at
right.
the end of the day.
And putting that out on Yammer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for what you do. It's hot out there. but you're still making it happen and demonstrating those core values that are the foundation of this organization.
Exactly right. Thank you very much. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. This has been a great show, Mike.
It has.
We've had this is our 8th episode. I can't
that.
believe we've been doing this for 8 months now. And one of the things that we want to always say is that you guys are what makes this company happen every day. And without you doing what you do and working hard to provide our residents with a great place to live and building better living for our residents, we would not exist today. And so we want to thank you for that hard work that you do every day. You are the reason this show exists. The reason the show was created was to highlight all of our fantastic Radco team members.
That's right.
And we appreciate you guys tuning in. And don't forget to stay tuned, because I am sure there's our producer and editor are going to come up with some outstanding outtakes. I'm sure I'll be in many of those, as I make tons of those throughout the broadcast. But it gives us all a chance to laugh at ourselves.
That's right.
And have a good time. So Mike, any closing words before we go?
No, I think you summed it up really well, except for saying thank you. I appreciate everything that you do on a daily basis.
Thanks so much, guys, and we will see you next month on another episode of Full Brew, and Norman Radow will be our special guest.
All
right, well, I'm rolling.
So we can start just anytime. That's for the blooper reel. Sorry, I want to get us off on the right foot.
Yeah.
So I heard that there's 3 leaves for the Thrive program. Tell me more.
I
heard, maybe. I heard.
I mean, once in a while I read an email.
Welcome to episode number 8 of Full Brew. I'm Mike Brewer.
Can we start that over? I was laughing when you did it.
I know, because you turned into a apartment hacker. Right?
Yeah,
I did.
You did. This is not, you're not.
So Travis, I heard we had a great turnout this year.
Okay, are you laughing?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Sharon, you're not helping matters.
You look like you were on the verge of a laugh the entire time.
Yeah, I know. I keep getting the smirk from him when I look over.
I think it's because
he's trying to make me screw up. That's where he's going with this. He's trying to even the planes. It's not going to work.
There's no chance.
Yes, it is. We are in hot Atlanta right here in our, never mind.
It is really hot here.
You're still like natural segue, so.
Never mind. We should start our own podcast.
Live from
Let's
Breakers
see.
Cheshire Bridge.
Absolutely.
Dobfin?
we could do dolphin, and we could have like little things.
Thin. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm coming for you.
And I just said absolutely again. I'm already saying it again, and we just started doing this.
I love it. Well, at least you're self-aware.
At least I am.
24.
So, yeah.
Chanel Dobson. I'm the property manager here.
Let's do it one more time.
And so let's take a look at that.
I can't stop saying it. I cannot stop saying it.
That is so awesome.
Where's my doll massager? Oh, it's freaking hot in here.
I'm going to buy absolutely.com.
I need to
post all these
fan.
videos.
Absolutely.
I'm Chanel Dobson.
Right, and
dude,
I
I'm
can
here.
chime in.
Real, you were brave and let people throw balls at your head.
That was actually very fun.
Okay, give her a beak so I do like.
Yes.
You were such a sport.
I know.
Letting people
Let people just throw balls at your head.
I was like, do I look at the people?
What do I do with my hand?
Ricky Bobby.
but I will. All right. So I forgot what we're talking about next. So.
Oh, yes.
It's okay.
So many of our, well, let's start that over again. For bringing to life, for highlighting.
Whenever you're ready.
I think we should just do a set of bloopers.
I think we have.
You did.
We're good on the blue.
So we appreciate everyone's focus and their constant, I forgot what I was going to say.
Commitment to staying cool.